here. Okay, over to IE.
All right. So I'm actually going to start off with a question. So does anybody know what 3D designing is or how it's done?
Sort of.
Yeah, kind of.
I
Okay.
do. I made a wall of. I made something. I made like a picture kind of something. I just took a picture of something and then I pasted it or something like that. But yeah.
Okay.
And I've also create stuff in Steam sometimes.
In what?
In Steam.
Is that like a gaming software?
No, it's one of my classes: science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
Okay.
I have one question.
Yes.
Are we gonna be doing 3D things online?
Yes.
Wait, how are we gonna be doing that? Are you just gonna be sharing your screen and just showing us how to do it?
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys how to log in a second to the platform. So 3D designing is all about pretty much, it's mostly a software, and you pretty much are able to use 3 axes, so X, Y, and Z, and you're able to create something from that, create something in 3D instead of 2D. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. So this is a 3D designing software. This is not what you guys are going to be using, but this is a good example because it has this. And we call this the origin. So we call it the origin because that's where everything starts from. So you'll see that also in Tinkercad, which is what you guys are going to be using. So it uses X, Y, and Z. So if you guys look at the top right here, do you see this? Do you see how it can turn?
I know X and Y, but not Z.
Yeah, so X and Y, you usually use that to graph in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So 3D designing has a Z, and that's what makes it like 3D. If you only used X and Y, it'd just be 2D.
I get it.
Flat. Yeah. So this is X, Y, and Z, and the good thing to remember is that Z is always up. And with that, that's actually how most machines operate, like 3D printers, CNC machines. They use these 3 axes, and they're actually called Cartesian axes, but you don't need to know that. And they use these 3 axes to pretty much create things. So I'm going to show you guys how to log on to Tinkercad real quick. All right. So can everyone go to tinkercad.com? Just search up www.tinkercad.com. And then let me know once you're there.
Does it say Engineer's Guide to CAD?
Mine doesn't say that, but yours might. Are you on this website?
I'm seeing.
Not yet.
Nope. Doesn't look like that. I'm on it. I don't have 2 webcams, so I have to do this.
Okay, you can minimize mine and look at your screen. That also helps. I'll put the link in the chat. All right. If you guys aren't there, the link is in the chat, so you can copy that.
Okay, if you're on the website, give me a thumbs up so I know. Okay.
Tinkercad. Trying to find it. Tinkercad. I'm on. The heck? Tinkercad.com.
All right, is everybody on?
I'm trying. Nope, I'm not. I'm just trying to figure this out because it's not really working very good. Hi guys. Tinkercad. That is boring. Oh, I think I might have got it. No, it says Think. It says ThinkCAD. No.
You can just go to the link in the chat and then put it in, and it'll just take you right there.
I do that, but it's not working.
I think he's using a phone for Zoom and a laptop.
No, I'm using a I'm using an iPad, and I keep putting tinkercad.com, and it just says type. It just says like.
It's Tinkercad.
I did that.
Okay, Dylan, is mommy close by?
I think I. Oh yeah, I did it. I got on.
Okay. Wait, are you using a iPad for Tinkercad?
No, I'm using a laptop.
Okay. All right. So once you guys are there, go to sign in.
I need your help.
Yes.
Or is it? Yeah.
Did someone say they needed help?
I'm making an account
No, you don't have to make an account.
for Tinkercad. Well, I
Yeah.
can't sign in.
Yeah, I know. There's a way to get in under this class.
Oh.
So when you click sign in, you're going to see this green button that says students join your class. And if you guys
Okay.
click that, I'll give you guys the code.
I wasn't trying
right
that.
now.
Ooh. Is it new?
Oh, I'm logged out.
What is it? What's the class code?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get right now. It logged me out because
Educators, sorry.
There you go.
Class code?
You gotta wait. He's finding the class code.
What's the class code?
He's looking for it.
give me a second, sorry.
Incredible Volt. Nerf flying horses.
Like, I need help.
I'm gonna tell it out to you guys. It's on my phone.
Oh, hold on. Wait, is it Tinkercad?
Wait, can
Yes.
you? Wait, can you? Tinkercad. Tinkercad. Not a cat. Cad.
Okay, got it. Hold on now.
Prince Gadgets. Hey. Okay, I know you're
Wait, I have the code that you sent over to me.
You do?
Okay, what's the What's the?
Okay, I'm on it right now.
What's class code?
Okay, wait.
I have one question.
All right, this is the class code.
I have one question. Do we click
Yes.
sign in or join now?
No, you're gonna click student join now. You're not
I
gonna
don't
sign
see.
in.
I don't see that.
It should be at the top.
7.
It doesn't say.
Wait,
at
I
the
didn't get the
top.
whole class. H1 DJ. DJ.
Oh wait, actually, no, I got it in. I got in.
You got it? Okay.
No, I meant like you have to give me the class code. Class.
Yeah, this is the class
Wait,
code.
it says type your nickname after.
Yeah, and your nicknames are just your names. So just type in Dylan for you. It'd just be Dylan, and I'll show you guys that. Does everybody have the class code?
It says you can't find that nickname.
And I'll also paste this in the chat.
What? Chat? It doesn't. How do you know your nickname?
All right, the code is in the chat as well. Your nickname is just, I put it as everyone's just regular name. Some of yours is your last name though. So
It's
I'm gonna
like
go down
mine's-
slowly. The nickname is on the right, so you're gonna look at this column and then type whatever's there.
It says you can't find it.
How you spell my name?
Just
Oh.
look through this and type the same thing, Dylan.
There's no
How's
H.
it spelled?
There's no H.
My bad.
DILANPHEL. Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Hold on, I'm
everyone
not
have-
Mine
in.
says,
No, not yet.
It is
I
on.
need to go and do it now.
guys, I didn't get in yet. I didn't get the code. Hey, I'm in. I'm in.
Nina, your code is just NINA, just your name, Nina.
I'm in.
All right.
Wait, I'm not in.
It's loading.
It did. Rift
Christopher, I
patch.
think yours is this one.
Okay, there's no.
J
Okay.
7
Rift
Guys, it's not going.
SA
Yes.
2
It's
R.
not. I typed in my name, but
It's just loading.
It's
Like, did it take you to the next screen?
No.
no, it just has my name right there.
I think you're in.
The
Did
button
you?
below it that's faded, and it looks like once she types in the right number of characters, that it will get brighter. It'll highlight, but that hasn't happened yet.
Well, hold on.
For me, it just looks like that. Just those dots going back and forth.
I already
Is it
got
taking you to another screen?
No.
I just copied
Wait,
the.
where's? Oh, here it is. Wait, I have a question. But where's my name?
It's
don't
at the
see-
top.
Oh, it's more Patterson. Okay, thank you.
Did you see the screen?
No,
Owen, is that you?
I just did.
Ellen, stop doing that.
my password. Okay, fine.
Oh, letting me.
Abraham Butler. That's my name. I already got in.
All right, who's not in yet?
Me.
Me.
Who's me?
Say your name. Yeah.
Computer's
Who's?
loading.
Kartik.
Nina.
This is right here.
Okay.
Every time when I when I do my name, it always lowercase.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
it's lowercase.
it's only lowercase for nicknames.
I don't know why.
Oh.
I'm not in yet. My name is still here.
What do you mean your name is still here?
Like I typed in my name, but
Nobody's muted.
Can you show your screen with your iPad?
No, you can't share when other body is sharing.
Okay, I'm in.
Oh wait. Okay. Hold on. Now I got it.
Nope. What?
Here, ask. Is this what it's supposed to look like?
I put. Guess what? I copied.
I got in.
Word
I
plan.
think.
Is this what it's supposed to look like?
I put in a cup. I
Does
put a
that
cup.
say join class? Yeah. Okay, now you're gonna put in the code that I put in the chat.
Okay, man.
Okay, you just have to
Come on,
be
Mom.
patient, students. It takes a while to load.
Abraham.
What?
still
Got
my name
in.
here.
I got in.
All right,
Abraham.
everyone's in. Nina, are you in yet?
No.
Okay. Do you see the code in the chat?
There's a shadow?
There's a code. If you go into the chat, I think it's on the right-hand corner. There's an option for chat. You can see the code.
Then it's going to be hard to get back to that.
I know.
Be patient.
Trying to get the perfect lighting.
I'm just gonna try to delete this.
I just put it on the screen as well, if you need it there.
I'm trying to delete it.
Just leave it alone. Stop touching.
I'm trying to delete it.
AWT.
Give me a thumbs up if you're in.
Give a thumbs up.
Awesome. So we're just waiting for Nina to log in, right? Everybody else is in. Kartik, are you in?
And just be patient and leave it
Yes,
there.
I'm in.
Wait, what? I'm in. I'm trying to delete it.
Just take your hand off.
What do I do?
You can look at all of it. You can read it and see. I'm just waiting on one more person.
Is that? Mine it. Oh.
Oh, no, you're in.
Click on it.
I'm in.
All right, you're in?
Yeah.
All right, is everybody in now?
Yep.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yep.
I'll get back to it.
No.
All right, great.
If I click it on this,
So when you guys get in,
click on the
go to the top right. You guys see this icon here?
What
Now go to the top
Show
right
me
and then
what it
go to
is.
designs.
I want to know too.
Wait. Do we click on?
Create new design. So
I'm
for us,
already
it
there.
says
Do we click on
Yeah.
it?
You're gonna click on create new design and then just go into there and then wait. So once
Um,
everybody's in there,
Wait, no, Coach Aid.
It's
Yes.
loading.
Do we press on the person on the top right?
yes.
How do I delete stuff?
And what else?
And then you're gonna go to design. So when you click on the person, it should have these options for you. And then you're gonna click on designs.
Oh, what?
So I click on designs, okay.
Yep.
Plane. Whatever that is.
Okay, so do I just press on create new design or something?
Yes, create new design.
Wait, how do I? Wait, terrific go. This is terrific go-go.
Whoa,
Change name.
All right, is everybody in
Wow.
create new design?
yes.
this is cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So with Tinkercad, you can do a couple things. So of course, 3D design, which is what we're doing. But if you guys want to check that out later, we also have circuits and code blocks. And we might be using code blocks later on. Code blocks is 3D design, but with programming. So you can like program a design, and that can help you with some stuff. If you need to like go back and change something, you don't have to completely like redesign your model. You can just change something.
So you can make games?
Uh, in Tinkercad, I don't believe so. No.
Oh man.
All right. So when you guys are in a new design, it should look something like this, but without the keychain here. So today, you guys are. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to design one of these for yourself with your name, obviously. So let me go to a new design myself.
Now go down on that. No.
So it should look like this when you guys open up, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
That's where I'm at.
So I'm just going to explain a couple of the settings and the features. So on the left here, we have all of our panning and our zooming functions. And that just helps you to like turn around and look at the different views of the model. So is everybody using a mouse or is everybody using a trackpad?
I'm using a mouse.
Me too.
Okay.
I'm using a mouse.
All right, great. That's good. If you're using a mouse, you know that little wheel on your mouse?
Yes.
If you click down and you pull or push, you can move left to right and up and down. And that's really
Oh,
cool.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I
So
can do
it lets you to like move around fast. So that's clicking down and
Sorry
then
to
just
interrupt, but can you please
Minecraft.
Zach and A, can you
No.
please mute your things? Can you please mute your microphone? Because
I'm sorry?
Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe other than I, everybody can mute.
I don't know yet. He said
Oh, okay, you can move the work plane. Okay.
he. Yeah, he
cool.
said he's gonna teach us how to make it.
oh, is Shiva robot? Coach K, I have something to show you at the end.
It ask them all to mute their.
Can you guys mute real quick? All right, thank you. If you have a question though, say something. So when you move like this is called panning. And that just means you're able to like move left or right and up and down with your mouse. So on the left hand screen here, we have you can pan manually, but this is more of a rotation. So you can like move around. So you guys can try that. So moving around the workspace. Under that, we have this little home button. And so home always takes us to home, which is like the default setting of the model. So if you click home, it's going to take you right here to the preset view. So anytime you move around, if you want to get back to home, just click it, and then you can get back to home. Can everybody try that? All right, good. Under home, we have fit into view. And so that's if I bring in a model real quick, it'll just enlarge it for me. So under that, we have zoom in and zoom out. So if you click that, if you don't want to do it manually, and that's another benefit of having a mouse. So if you have a mouse, you can just zoom in and out without using this, but you can always use this to zoom in and zoom out. And then under that, we have a
Coach
view.
Aid,
Yes,
where's the home?
it's under this little box here that has all the views.
Oh yeah, that okay. Thanks.
And speaking of views, do you see how it says top, right, left, and back?
Mhm.
So if you click on that, it'll take you to that view. So watch this. If I click on front, it'll take the front view. You guys see that? If I click on
Oh,
top,
wow.
it'll take me to the top view, and it'll only show me that. Now watch this. This is even cooler. If I click on this, you see that? It'll take me to that angled view. If I click on this corner, it'll take me to that view. So if you want to get like a certain corner, like a certain angle of like rotation, you can just click on each of these corners and it'll move you around. So this is just how you pretty much pivot and move around the software. And this is very, very important because that's how we're going to be moving around and looking at things. And if I click on even on bottom, it'll take me to the bottom. So the last setting here we have on the left is our switch pattern. And so this is really important. This is one of the settings you're going to want to change from time to time, depending on what you want to do. So we have orthographic and we have perspective. There are two huge differences. Orthographic is what we are usually going to be working on. And orthographic gives us an exact view. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I go to the top, do you see how I'm going on the top of this cube, and it's only showing me this the square on this top? It's only showing me this. This is orthographic. Now we can, like, if I click on top, we can work with this and only work with this. But watch what happens if I switch to perspective. It changes my view. So you can't really see it with the square, but it changes how you look at it. So perspective won't show you the exact view. It won't fit it in for you. It'll show you like what you would see in real life. Because in real life, if you looked on top of a square, you wouldn't see this, right? You would see the sides, right? So that's what perspective does. So we're going to use orthographic just because we want to be precise. Perspective isn't that precise, but it allows you to see how something would look in the real world. So if you guys click on it, you're going to click on it until it says orthographic. Can everyone do that? Does everybody have yours on orthographic? Just give me a thumbs up if you have it.
Mine's on switch to
I have it on orthographic.
All right,
I have
that's
it
great.
on orthographic.
Okay.
I
Real
have
quick, who
mine
can
on
tell me what orthographic is?
What'd you say?
Who can tell me what orthographic is? So the view we have right now.
Are we going to start?
Hmm?
Are we going to start?
Yeah, we are starting.
Okay. Yeah.
So who knows what
So do we
orthographic
put a
is?
cube on?
I'm going to the Minecraft version.
No. All right, Dylan. Do you remember what orthographic is?
It just,
I think you're muted. Okay.
it feels really like, I think it's like, kind of like, it's like it shows you like, in like different like angles or something. I don't know, but
It shows you the fitted view. So we'll talk about it later, but
if it's my face.
all right. So let's get started. So we're going to be making a keychain, right? So can everybody, oh, sorry. On the right here, we have
Oh wait,
all of
I'm
our
sorry to
shapes.
interrupt. I have another question.
Yes.
When you're making 3D objects, do you use a 3D printer to print them out if you want to?
Yeah, you can use that's what most people use, but there are other machines that can
Like what?
do stuff, like a CNC machine, and that cuts out metal parts.
Okay.
So instead of like printing and like making stuff, it'll cut it out. So that's called additive and subtractive manufacturing.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And if you guys design something cool, you can always 3D print it, and your parents can always pick it up at Shiva if you guys want. So we're gonna start off by, if you guys look on the right, we have a bunch of shapes here on the right.
Yep.
We can use these shapes to create more complex shapes, because these are just basic shapes.
You're not on mute.
I'm not.
So we're gonna drag out this box here first.
Box.
And just move it to the middle. It doesn't really matter where you move it. So we're gonna drag it out first.
Looks like Grace has a question. Go ahead, Grace.
Oh, did you? Sorry. Yes.
I could delete something.
You did what?
Delete something.
How do you delete? If you click on it right here and you go
You
to
can
the
even
top
make it
left,
into a ball. What the heck?
you can click this button, delete,
This
or
is-
you could just do it on
this
your
is
keyboard.
very
You can click
weird.
delete on the keyboard.
I really like this. I think this is way better than Morphe.
All right. So we're gonna drag out a box. Has everyone dragged out a box?
Yeah, I dragged out a box.
All right.
Like, 1 second. I
So
dragged out-
geometrically, this is called a cube, but yeah, we're gonna call it a box. So right now we want to make a keychain, right? So a keychain doesn't look like this at all. So we're actually going to stretch this out. And that's what I mean when I say we're going to make complex shapes. So in this box, I want you guys to click on this corner. You see that? When you look on this corner, it gives you these two measurements. It says 20 and 20. So I want you guys to click on it.
The box fell.
And then I want you guys to click on this smaller box. Can you guys do that?
Wait 1 second. My box is floating in the air for some reason. I'm trying to put it back in. Ugh.
Wait, what did you say?
My box is floating in the air. I have to like drag. This is the one thing. It doesn't really appear. So I got it. Now what?
All right. Is it on the ground?
Yeah. It's
Wait,
on the
I have
ground.
one question. What, like,
Yes.
like, what did you say about the 20 and 20 thing?
All right. I'll show you guys again. So you're going to click on your box like this.
Mm.
And then you're going to look at any of the corners, actually. Any of these 4 corners on the bottom. You're just going to click on one of those corners. And it should be like this. It should look like this. So this is how we change the dimensions of a model. All right. Can you guys do that? All right. So once you click on that, we're going to change this 20 to something different. We're going to change it, let's say 40. 40 looks good. All right. Can you guys change it to 40?
I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
All right.
I did it.
We're going to change some other dimensions because a keychain isn't this tall. So we're going to click on this top one, and this is the height. So you know when you make anything, it always has a length, a width, and a height. So we're going to be changing the width and the height, and maybe the length. So when you click on this top one, we're going to click on it, and we're going to make it...
Wait, do you just click on that corner?
No, we're going to click on this top. I'll show you again. So when you click on the box, this top point, all the points are in white. Do you see that?
Wait, could you wait?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay.
You got it? All right. And you see this 20? We're going to change that to something different. We're going to change it to 10. Actually, let's change it to something a little smaller. How about 7? 7 looks good.
Oh wow, that's small.
Yeah.
I accidentally went back to the classroom login for some reason. Because when I tried to hold the roller thing to move it to the side, it didn't work.
Okay, that's fine. What is it showing you right now?
Oh, here it is. I get to go back to it.
Are you back in?
What? Hold on. I wonder if I get to edit it. Do I get to edit it too?
Yeah, you can go back. It saves changes.
Do I just press tinker this?
What screen are you on? Are you on the homepage?
No, I'm at the I'm where it says all my my recent designs. So I just press.
Do you see the design that you started to create? This? Do you see this?
Wait, hold on. No, I see a different one. It says it shows all my recent designs. So do I just let me just press
Just
this.
click on it, yeah. On the one that you just made.
Yeah. Please, please.
Do you see it?
Please. My computer is low speed. Oh yeah, it took me back to the one that I had. But I'm not. But wait,
Are you back?
Wait, but how do? Oop, nope, I don't do that.
Zamora, this recording will be sent home to you. So now you can follow his instructions. You can watch it slowly and then redo it. Okay, no worries. So now since everybody is waiting, we'll go to the next step. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ari.
All right. So we have a little rectangle like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we want to make a keychain, but a keychain doesn't have these like hard corners. We have to smooth them out. So we're going to change the setting with the rectangle. So we're going to click on the rectangle again. And then on the right, we're going to see this little box. And the box has a bunch of settings that we're going to use. You guys see that?
Yes.
So now we're going to click radius. We're going to go on the first one. It's called radius. And what a radius does, a radius smooths out edges. So if I drag this, let's say, you can actually type in, let's say, I don't know, 15. 15 like curves it a lot, but we don't want that much because we're just making a keychain. So you can move it manually. And let's see, 5 looks about a good number. So everybody type in 5.
One question.
Yes.
For the height, did you say 10 or like 40?
The height is 7.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So the width is 40, the length is 20, and the height is 7.
Okay.
So we're gonna make this radius 5, and that curves the edges. And if you want, you can change it a little more. This actually looks a little better if you want. Just depends on what you want to do. But I'm gonna keep mine like that, about 6. So you can also change the bottom setting. This one, it's called steps. And what steps does is it refines your design. So it's similar to radius, but not exactly. So what steps does is, if I turn it to 1, do you see how it's like really rigid here? It still has the radius, but it's really rigid. So what steps does is it defines like, so every model is made up of little, really small squares and rectangles that we can't see. And so when you increase the number of steps, it increases the number of rectangles and triangles that makes up the model, making it smoother, look smoother. So if I increase it, and you can put this on max, and that's how you get the best looking designs when your steps is really high. So low quality, high quality. And then I think that's all we're going to edit right now, and we're going to move on. And another thing you can also do is if you click on it, you can change the color. So whatever color design you want, if you want pink, I'm going to keep mine blue because we're going to be making a Shiva keychain. All right.
And how
So
did
now,
you make it blue?
when you click on it, you're going to see this under solid. You're going to click solid, and then it'll have all these colors here.
Okay, thank you.
You got it? All right. So now we need to make the inner part of the keychain, because if you look here, we have this little indent. Do you guys see that? So we need to make that part. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this, and then you guys have to do this on your keyboard. So you're going to click Control and C. We're going to copy it. So Control and C. All right, and then we're going to click Control and then V to paste. And it should bring you a new one. And I think you can even do this in the software. Yeah, you can copy and paste. So on the top left corner, if you click copy, you can copy. And then if you click paste, you can paste. All right. Has everyone done that yet?
No.
No?
So do we go to, it looks like a lot of these squares or something, top left.
Yeah, are you trying to copy and paste?
Okay. Yeah, like what it shows on.
Yeah, so let me delete this. So you're gonna click on it. Did you click on it?
Click, okay.
All right, and to make this even simpler, I think you can use duplicate. So if you click duplicate, it makes the exact same thing, but it just makes it on top of it. So you can click this, or you can click Control V and Control C. Do you have it now? So this one, click duplicate. This
okay,
one
yeah, I did
it
that.
looks like a bunch of squares. All right, you clicked it?
Yep.
All right, so when you click it, it probably shouldn't look like nothing changed, but something did change. So we're just gonna, if you drag this, hold it, and then just move it out like this.
I am trying
move it out. Yes.
I'm trying to get to 6:30. Oh, I got it to 6:32.
Oh wow!
But
Right,
does it
so
have
is it-
the shape though.
Is everybody seeing 2 of these right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes?
but mine's not the same size as the other.
Did you probably changed it? So you can just delete the smaller one or keep it and then just duplicate it again. So it's
Wait,
the
how do
exact
you
same
make
size.
the shape? How do you make the shape?
Or undo.
How do you make the shape?
The shapes are on the right.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
So does everybody see 2 of these?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
All right. Now we need to make a hole in here like this. So
Wait.
you have to do a couple things to do that. So first we're going to click on this and we're going to change the color. It doesn't matter
I'll
what.
just edit it.
Just a
We
different
click
color.
on what?
So you're going to click on the second one and you're going to click solid and then change the color to something other than whatever the color you have on the other one. So I'm going to change mine to just green. And this is just so we can see the difference between them because we're going to be putting them pretty close together. All right. Now we're going to change the dimensions of this. So you guys remember how to change the dimensions? So I actually click top view just so I can see the top, and that helps as well. So you're going to click on one of the corners like this, and we're going to change this 40 into maybe a 30 or maybe 35. And we're going to change this 20 into 15.
Wait, what? Coach Rahid,
Yes.
mine just disappeared. My other one, I don't know what happened.
All right. So you're going to, do you see my screen? Do you see this button? You can go back. You can also press Control Z.
I'll make a shape.
So keep on going back until you see the stuff that you deleted.
Wait, I can't make a shape. I can't make a shape because every time when I was trying to make a shape, it was just making a new one.
According to
Coach
this,
Rahid, I can't make it any.
So did you delete it? What happened?
I mean, I was gonna try and catch up with you guys and what you guys were doing, but then I accidentally deleted it somehow.
So
So
Nina,
did you go back?
Nina and Zamora, just follow along just the instructions, and later on with the recording, you can open Tinkercad and do it. Okay, so let's just keep moving. Just listen to Aid for now, and then later on with the recording, you can follow and do it.
I'm done.
All right. So now everybody should be seeing these two keychains.
I don't. I only see one.
Just do you remember what I told you to
1427.
how to duplicate?
Yeah, you hold it down and then you move it, but it's not doing that. It just like
So,
my other
Nina,
one keeps.
2714.
So you're gonna click on it, and then do you see this button right here on the top left? It says duplicate and repeat.
Okay.
You're gonna click that again.
We need 3 of them?
No. This is just for Nina.
Oh.
Do you see it?
Yes, I got it. Thanks.
All right. And did you move it forward and change the dimensions?
I'm gonna change the color. There we go. All right. I changed the color.
Okay, good. So now we have these two rectangle pieces. So what we need to do is to put this in the middle of this, and then we need to take it out so that it has that little divot inside. So how we do that is we're gonna select both of them. So you guys know how to select? You're gonna use the left click.
I need some help.
Yes.
Mine are the same size. I don't. Which one do I change them to?
I got him.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be the same size. So this one I have a 35 by 15, and then on this one I have a 40 by 20. I just subtracted 5 on both of them.
Oh, I'm gonna use 30. Oh, wait, it says the width is 40, so 31, 5, and
Yep.
what
And
the heck?
15.
I accidentally did. Wait, 1, 5, and 5. I got it now.
Okay.
Now what?
So now everyone select. So you're gonna use the left click and you're gonna hold it down and select both of these.
Yeah, I selected both of them.
So now both of them should be highlighted.
Not me.
No?
Okay, so I got the whole red thing around them. Now what?
So select both of them. So you should see this window and you should select both of them like this.
Oh.
All right, does everyone have it selected?
Yep.
All right, now we're gonna use a really special tool and you're gonna use this a lot. So if you guys go to the top right, you should see this tool called Align. So click on Align and I'll explain what it does. And actually, even better yet, do you guys see the change? So if I click from perspective to orthographic, do you guys see that change?
What?
So
Where?
this is perspective, and then this is orthographic. So orthographic shows like a really flat view. That's just another example of what I was saying earlier. So has everyone clicked Align?
Yes.
All right, so once you click Align, you should see something like this with these black dots. So Align, if I click this, it'll bring this to the middle of it, but we can't see it because it's like under. So I'm actually gonna go back and click Align again. So once you click Align, I want you guys to click on your first rectangle, the first one that you made again, and it should show you the little black dots around only this one. All right, have you guys done that?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, where's the line again?
So Align is at the top right, and
Okay.
it's this one with the little bars with one shorter than the other. You can also press L. It's a keyboard shortcut.
Yeah, press L.
So remember, click Align, and then you're gonna click on the bigger
There.
rectangle. So what that does is, if I regularly just used Align, it would bring both of them to each other. But when I click on the bigger one again, it only brings this to this. So now it's bringing this to this. So do you see how this one is gray and the others are black?
Wait.
Yes.
That means it's centered on this point. So if you guys don't have to do this, I'm just showing you. But if I try to align like this, now it's not gray anymore. But if I click it, it'll turn gray. That means it's centered on that point. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're gonna click on this one. If it's not already gray, click on it. And then you're gonna click on this one at the side as well. So now you should have something that looks like this.
Wait, are you go again?
All right, so I'll go back. So you're gonna highlight both of them. Go to Align or press L. I'm gonna press L.
I did it. I aligned them.
And then you're gonna click on this one
Wait,
that you have
where do you
below,
press-
the bigger one. Yep.
I aligned them.
Align is at the top right. And you can click L if you want on your keyboard. Just press L, and that should also work.
Wait, where?
And then you're gonna click on this one again, and then this should already
Wait,
be centered.
Keychain, where's L?
Yes. On your the keys on your keyboard, literally click L.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Where is S?
click on the middle on this one. Well, and then you're gonna click on this one as well. So you should have something that looks like this. You guys see that?
I don't have it inside. I still have two.
Did you click Align?
I see that, but that's the green ones like all over. I don't see any green.
It might not show up for you, but did it move at least?
Yes, it moved. It moved.
Okay, so that's fine. Even if you don't see it, it moved. It should have moved. So everyone should have something like this.
I don't.
Look like one shape. What do you
I
have?
still don't have it.
I
It
still
looks like a
have
soap
two.
bar. It looks like a soap bar.
All right, so we're gonna do this again. So select. Did you guys select both of them?
Coach Aid, I'm sort of on the back, and I don't know how to get. Oh no.
No, you guys can. You know, you
All right, what
guys
about
can
you,
just
Christopher?
follow along instead
Have
of
you selected
just
both of them?
follow along.
Yeah, I select him.
Okay, Nina, have you selected both of them?
1
You know,
second.
you guys can just follow along. You know, and you can just you can just watch it.
Oh no, I made a third one. Okay.
All right, then you're gonna click L on your keyboard, or you can click Align. Either works. So I'm gonna click L.
Coach Aid, I made 3 on accident.
You can just delete the other one. It doesn't matter.
That's better.
Why do I keep getting muted?
Because there's so much of
How do you delete it?
My head's
To delete, you're just gonna click
Zamora, you're
top, and
muted.
then on the top left, click delete like that.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so select, align, and then you're gonna click on this one again. And then you see how this is already gray? That means it's centered on that point. Then we're gonna click on this one on the left, on the right, sorry. And then everyone should have something like this.
Yeah,
It
mine
should all
just.
look like
Yeah, I
one.
have it.
All right, great.
I don't.
Who doesn't?
Me, Nina.
Okay, Nina, just.
Are
follow
those
along with-
sand blocks?
And later on, you can sit down with Tinkercad and the recording, and you can follow it. Okay, so just let's move to the next step. Go ahead.
That's what I was doing, Coach.
All right. So if you guys can see this, the one on the inside, you're gonna try to click on it. So click on it, and then we're gonna just go to front view, and then I'm gonna move it up.
All right.
So I'm gonna move it up.
Help me! Wait!
Yes. Yes.
Something happened. I'm gonna go try to fix it. Don't move on until I do.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Okay. Mine is just glitching.
Yeah,
Whenever
it's just-
I change,
All right.
change the angle.
Sorry. So everybody has something that looks like this, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, mine just is glitching, really, a lot.
Mine's too.
I'm just following along, basically.
All right. So you're gonna click on the one on the inside, and then you're gonna click on front.
There's the video of them then.
Pay attention, because there's
I
going to be a
did that.
recorded video, and then you're going to follow it again, okay?
So when you click on front, you're gonna click on this top arrow right here. I'm just gonna drag it out a little bit, and you can actually
Yeah.
change the distance here.
Sand blocks.
So 3 is a good number. I'm gonna click on 3.
Wait, what?
Wait, mine's very glitching, so I can't
Did you
really.
guys see that?
Telling you what to do.
How did you do that?
All right.
I got it.
So you guys have something like this, right?
Wait, no.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I do, but it's just very glitching and I can't see it. Or click on it.
Mm.
Probably, that's why. There's
Guys,
two
you know
of
you
them.
can just follow along instead of You can just
We're gonna click
you
on the
can just
middle.
follow along.
Oh no, I deleted my entire thing by accident.
So we're gonna click on the middle,
Okay.
and then we're gonna move it up for 3 units.
Middle.
And then I'm just gonna click out of space, so it doesn't show anything. And now you should have something that looks like this, right?
Wait, I'm trying to move it. Wait. Okay, I got it. And then
I don't.
I think I did. Wait, so do I have to move? Wait, so do I have to move it up 3 steps?
Yep. You're gonna click on front and then move it up.
Right. Wait. Here, front. Where's this?
Like if you look on the left, the views that you have, click on front.
How do I do that? How do I do that?
On the left, do you see this little box?
Oh,
The little
no.
cube that we
I
use to
keep
rotate.
jumping.
You're gonna click on front.
How did you make that thing come up?
It was like this before, and then I clicked on it. I clicked on front, I clicked on this arrow. Do you see this arrow on the top? And then I dragged this arrow up for 3 units.
Oh.
All right, and then you're just gonna click anywhere out in space so that it doesn't show anything.
Damn.
Wait, so how do I click every? So how do I make it go up? So like there's front.
Did you click on the one on the inside?
Do I make it go up 2 or up 3?
Any number is fine. I use 3.
I'll use 3 too. I don't really. Oh yeah, I got it.
All right. Now we need to cut this. So we're gonna click on the one on the inside. So this green one, we're gonna click on it, and then we're gonna make it a hole. So we're gonna click hole. And now it should look like this. It should look transparent.
Okay, you died.
Did you guys
No,
see
wait,
that? So I clicked on the one on the inside, and then I looked on the
You
right,
were
and then I
first a
clicked
solid,
hole.
now you're a hole.
Just creepy.
so
It looks like
sorry.
illusion.
All right, so now it should be a hole. And I'm gonna click top again. You don't have to, but it's easier to look at. And then I'm just gonna select both of them again, like that. So now they should both be highlighted.
Okay.
All right, and after they're both highlighted, we're gonna go back on the top here to our functions, and we're gonna click on group. Do you see this? You can also press Control G, and we're gonna click on group. So now it should take a second and then create something like this.
Wait, what?
Wait, there's a rectangle like.
No, looks like that. Okay, I've got it.
I don't think did you click on the one on the inside or the outside?
The one on the inside, because whenever we did that, like the align thing, mine didn't work.
What do you mean?
It didn't like work for some reason.
I think you did, but do you have like your squares inside of each other? It looks like you do.
I do. All of a sudden, the rectangle just came in.
All right, it looks like you did move the inner one up.
It's hard.
Why couldn't?
It's easy.
All right, did you move the inner one up? You have to move it up. So when it looks like this.
I can't get it like that because the work.
And box.
All right, so remember we're gonna select both, and then we're gonna click group. So do you guys see that?
How do I do group? How do I do group? How do I do this?
So select both of them, right? And then it's on the top right. So do you see these here? This one here with the little square. And
Group. Okay, group.
Yep, and you're gonna click group. And then it should take a second and then cut the inner one out of the bigger one.
Yeah, mine.
So you should have something that looks like this. Does everyone have that?
No.
Mine never
All right, where are you stuck at?
Oh, it erased me like a lot of it.
Hey, I clicked group.
It looks like a raft.
Mine has a kind of looks like a phone case a little bit.
What?
Did it take out material? Did it take out the middle portion?
Yeah.
All right, so does it look like this a little bit?
It didn't do it. It didn't work.
I think you took out, you made a hole. We're just making like a little pocket.
Yeah, I know what happened.
So, Grace, all you have to do, you can go back. You can click on this hole and then move it up more because I don't think you moved yours up enough. So I think yours is like this a little bit, but it's longer.
It's not working.
What's not working?
It won't group.
Why not?
I don't know. I tried
You
it
have
with.
is the middle one a hole?
Well, it wasn't on hold because I tried it on hold, but it didn't work.
So
I selected them both, and
so
then
is yours like this? Is it a solid?
and then I clicked group. Yeah, it was like that.
All right.
But before it was on hold, and it didn't work while it was on hold.
So make it a hole. Now you have to select both of them. If you only select one, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I know. It's on shapes too. That's what it says. Shapes 3.
I think I have a third one somewhere in there, but that's fine. And then you're going to click group. Do you see this button?
Yeah.
Group.
See, that's what mine did.
Okay. Now it looks exactly like that.
Well, I did that and mine looks like that again.
Grace, I think you need to move your hole up more so it doesn't go through.
No.
What do you mean, move it up?
All right. Did you change the width of your hole? Because it looks like it's the exact same width.
No, I didn't change it.
You should probably change it. Change it to like, I think it was 35, I believe.
Like, right. What do I?
Click on one of the corners.
Yeah.
And then what number does it show you?
7.00.
For like the width.
Yeah.
It's 7?
I don't know.
It's 7,000.
So when you click on, do you see my screen? When you click on the corner, what 2 numbers does it show you?
Oh, 15.
15, and is the other number 40?
I need help.
Wait, hold on. Grace, is the other number 40? Hello, Grace?
What?
Yeah, is your other number 40?
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna make that 35.
How do I make it higher?
Just move it up with this little triangle.
What number do I get?
35, or anything less than 40. Yep, there you go. And now you have to align again because yours isn't aligned. So select both of them.
It did that again.
No, you're not. You're grouping already. Go back. Go back one.
Okay.
How do I make it go higher?
You click front and then you move this like that.
Okay.
I'm done.
Grace, you can actually, if you click on the top view, you can move yours manually.
What?
So yours is like this right now, right? So yours is like this, right? So click on top view and then you can move it just manually to the middle.
I'm trying to get on top. Mine, I have a crooked top.
If you click on top, I think it should fix that. It just, you can rotate too.
No, it just.
As long as you click top, it doesn't matter which way it's facing. Even if it's like,
I have one question.
even if it's like this.
Okay.
So click top and then select both of them.
I have one question.
Yeah.
When you're doing recording, where does it after when you're
This
done
isn't working.
I'm not sure. You're gonna have to ask Coach K. I'm not
What
sure.
happened? What?
I'll send
What?
you a link. Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
So let's move along to the next step. I want you all to just watch Aid's screen and follow his instructions, and let's just understand what to do. And later on, let's follow the video and get it done. So Aid, you can move to the next step, Aid.
All right, so I think we left off here. So we're gonna select both of them, and then we're gonna click group. And so that should take out material from here, leaving like a little pocket. And so that's where we're gonna put your name.
How do I make it go higher? It's not working.
You move this arrow. Do you see this arrow? So when you click on an object, it should give you a little arrow on the top or the bottom. And then if you click on that and move it up or down, it should move.
Okay.
All right, so now we have this little pocket. So let's actually add our name first before we add the little hole. So up here, you see this button, it says work plane. So we're gonna add a new work plane. So we're gonna click on that. And then we're gonna go to the center of our little pocket. So work plane, and then the center, and it should look something like this, and we're gonna click on it. So you should have something like this, and it should bring up a new work plane. So it should be a different color. And so now any object that we create, it's gonna be on here. It's gonna be made from here and not the bottom. So we're gonna bring some text. So if you go to the right-hand side, under basic shapes, make sure you're under basic shapes. We're gonna keep on going down until we see text. So we're gonna click on text, and then we're just gonna drag it out anywhere. It doesn't matter where, and we're just gonna click on it. So you should have something like this. So under text, you can name it whatever you want. I'm gonna name mine Shiva Robotics. And then now this is way too big to be used for the little keychain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just hold one of the corners. We're gonna click on it, and then just one of the corners, and we can just scale it and drag it down. So we're gonna drag it down until it looks like something we can use. So something like that. So that should fit. So after you have that, we're gonna use the same align tool. So first, actually, we should probably get back to our work plane. So how you do that is you go back to work plane, click on work plane, and then just click on the bottom, and then it should bring you back. All right, then we're gonna go to our top view. So on the left-hand side, click top, and then now we're gonna select both of them. So you're gonna have to make a really big rectangle.
Mine's too
Select
big.
both.
Mine's too big to be in there. So how do I do it? I'm kind of
You're
confused.
gonna, so Dylan, yours looks like this right now, right?
Mine's a little smaller though, but it's.
But yeah,
still-
so it's big, right? And you're gonna
Yeah.
click on it, and then any one of the corners, you see these little white corners? You're gonna
Yeah.
hold it
I see.
and then move it. Just make it smaller. Just like that, and then click out of it.
Wait, how do you change back from the work plane thing?
So your work plane was right like this, right?
Yep.
So you're gonna go back, click on work plane again, and then click on anywhere that's not here. Or actually, I think you can click on anywhere, and then it should bring you back.
Okay.
So just click on work plane and click anywhere.
All right, I'm back.
All right, good. So now we're gonna click on our top view again. And whenever I say a top view or front view, just go to the left and then look at it. So left view, right view, top view. So we're gonna go to top view. And then we're gonna make we're gonna look at these both. We're gonna zoom on this and then select both of these.
Yeah, I selected both of them.
All right, and now we're gonna go back to our align tool that we used before. So go back to align or click L. Anyone works. So align, and then you should see the little black dots like this.
Yeah.
So again, we're gonna click on this because we wanna move it to this. We don't wanna move both of them. So we're gonna click this. So that's gonna bring the Shiva Robotics to this.
I get it, but I'm gonna need a little help. Like, how do I shrink it?
It's not going in though.
So when you click on it, there are 4 points, 4 white little dots at each of the corners. If you hold one of the white dots and move it, you should be able to make it any size you want. Or you could just manually type it in here, but it's a lot easier to just click on it and move it.
Then I think my mind will break. Will it break?
All right. So now, again, we're going to select both of these and then click on align or press L on the keyboard. And then we're going to click again on this, on the smaller one. Not the smaller one, on the keychain.
I'm clicking. Okay, I clicked on it.
All right, and you should see these 3 dots. So now we want to center it on each of them. So we're first going to click this one at the top, and then that brought it to the middle, and you can zoom in a little bit to see it better. And then we're going to click on this one here in the middle.
Wait.
And that should bring it exactly to the middle. And if yours is still too big, you can shrink it down and then align it again.
There you go.
So you should have something like this.
L. I'm pressing L.
I got it.
That. And then how do I get it in?
It should be in. Did you align it?
Yeah, I aligned it.
All right. So does it look like this?
No, it's not in yet.
What do you mean?
You need to click the
It's
dot.
not in. It's like it's all the way over there.
Did you click align? Did you select both of them and click align?
Yeah.
And then did you click the 2 middle dots in the middle?
Oh, that and then that. Oh, got it. But then it's a little too big.
Yeah, that's what, like I said, if yours is like a little too big, just click on it again, shrink it down, and then do what I just said. So select both of them again and align them again.
What the?
So now you guys should have something like this, but we have a problem. This is way too big for this. So all we have to do is just click on it and then change the height. And any of the little white dots is what changes height. So if we just click on this one at the top, the 10, and then we can make that, let's try 3. 3 looks good. So I'm going to make mine 3. So now it's a lot smaller. So we made that a 3. And then we're going to go back to top view. And then you can change your words to be any color you want. So I'm going to change mine to be yellow for the color scheme. So you just click on it and then go to solid and then the colors. So now these are 2 separate components, right? 2 separate objects. If I move this, it doesn't move with it. So we need this to be one object. And how we do that is we're going to do the exact same thing that we did before, the group. So we're going to go back to top view, select both of them like this, just one big rectangle, select both of them, and then we're going to click on group. So Control G. So this top one right here, we're going to click on group.
Okay, I got it. So then
it might take a second to load, but it'll load. So you have something like this, but we have another problem.
I did it, but then how do I make them? How do I make them group? So then do I have to put group? Press group.
Yep, click on group or Control G.
Now everything is what the? I did that, and now
It's the same color, right?
Yeah, but they're red instead of.
Yeah, so I'll show you how to change that. So.
And how do I make the size?
Now, if we move it, it's one thing together, but it took away our yellow for the words.
Question.
So if you click on it again, yes. What's your question?
Like when you're recording, after you're done recording, where does it go? Does it
I don't know. I think Coach K said she would send it out.
I'll send you a link to it, okay? If you just click on the link, you should be able to see the video. And whoever has caught up till this step, so instead of sharing your face, can you share your screen going forth if you're using the same device?
Oh, but I cannot share because
I can share my screen.
I can share my
I think I have to stop sharing in order for them to share. you want me to stop sharing?
Oh, I thought like instead of their face, there'll be an option to share the screen. So that's not possible, right?
No.
Okay, then go ahead, Aid. So maybe at the end of the class, you can share your screen. Now Aid can keep going. And at 6 o'clock, we have another meeting. So we need to wrap this meeting at 5:30. So just go ahead and we'll try to wrap it up. Go ahead.
Please.
All right. So now we have something like this. It's all the same color, but we wanted a different color for the words. So we're going to click on it again. We're going to click on solid. And then we're going to go all the way down to this option here that says multicolor. And what that does is it uses the color that you had before and it just makes it that color while keeping them one big solid object. So if we click on multicolor, it brings back our little yellow. And it's still one big object. If we move it, it moves together. So did you guys get that? Click on this,
Yeah.
solid, and then multicolor. So now we have just a couple more steps to do in order to make this a real keychain. We have to make to actually hang it, we have to make the little hole. So we're going to click on cylinder. And first you're going to click on top view, but then click on cylinder. And we're going to drag out a cylinder to the left corner. And then you guys can go ahead and change the color of the cylinder. I'm going to change mine to yellow. So you're going to bring out a big cylinder like this. And you can also change the settings if you want. You don't have to, but I'm going to change my number of sides to maximum so it doesn't look rigid. So we're going to bring out a big circle. Circle looks like that. And so now we have to make it small enough to be put on the left side. So we're going to click on our circle and then click on any one of these 4 points. And we're going to drag it out and make them smaller. A good thing to remember is that to make this an actual circle, not an ellipse is something that's curved but doesn't have the same diameter around, we have to make these two numbers the same. So right now I have an 11 and a 13. So this is not technically a circle. So I'm going to just make this, I'm going to make it a little smaller. So maybe a 5. No, I'll make it 8. So I'm going to make an 8 and I'm going to click 8 and then just click enter. So now we have our circle and then we're going to just drag it with our mouse to this corner like this. And then we're going to click out. So you should have something like this. So now what we want to do is we want to make this, the height, a lot smaller. So we're going to click on our front view here on the left. And then we're going to click on our cylinder again. And we're going to change the height. So the height right now is 20. We're going to make it really small. We're going to make it like 3 because we only want it to be on that corner. So click on 3 and then it should be something like this. But now we have another problem. It's all the way on the bottom. We want this to be in the middle. So we could, of course, move it up, but what makes it more better if we align it, because a line will make an exact measurement. So now we're going to select both of them again. This time we're going to go to the front view, and then we're going to click on align. And then when we click on align, notice that this is shaded gray, meaning that it's all the way at the bottom, but we want it to be in the middle. So you can just move it to the middle, or if you want, like I said before, you can click align and then click on this shape again so it moves it to it, and then click on the middle. So we're going to click on this middle part. Now we're going to click back on this circle, and then we're going to duplicate it again like we did in the beginning. So you can do Control C and then Control V, or you could just click on this and then click up here and click on duplicate. And so when you duplicate it, it should bring it to the exact position of the object that you're duplicating, so it shouldn't look like a difference. But right now there's actually 2. So you can drag that out. And then now we're going to make this a lot smaller to make a hole in this. So we're going to click on this, and then right now it's 8 and 8. So we're going to make it 3. And you can play around with the numbers if you want to make a bigger hole, but I'm going to use 3. So now we need to put this in the center and then make a hole. But before we do that, we want to be able to see the difference. So because they're both yellow, so we're going to click on it, and then instead of solid, we're going to click on hole. So now it's a hole. And then now we're going to select just these two. We're not going to select this. We're just going to select this and this. So it should look something like this. And then we're going to go back to align, the align tool, and then we're going to click on this circle again so that it moves towards this circle and it's not moving both. So now we're going to click on middle, and this middle. So it should look something like this. It should be in the exact center. And then we're going to click out. So now we have a couple more steps to do. Now we're going to select both of these, and you can do that from the top as well. So we're going to select both of these, just these two, and then we're going to click group. And so when you click group, it should make this whole. So we're almost done. We just have one more step to do. We still have 2 separate bodies. So if I move this, it doesn't move along with it. And we want to have one big body. So all we have to do is zoom out a little bit, select both of them, and then click group again. So when we click group, it should take a second to load, but it should make one solid body. So now we have our one solid keychain here. And that's how you make a keychain in Tinkercad. So if you guys didn't get to design this today, I want you guys to try it at another time before next week. And I want you guys to show me your designs next week. And I want you guys to try to do some other stuff. So it doesn't have to be a keychain. So try to make something. Maybe you see something around your house and you can try to model that. So next time when we start, we're going to have a little show and tell. And we're going to see what everyone has designed. So just play around with it. And there are a lot of video tutorials on YouTube on how to use some of the functions like align and grouping. So did anybody have any last questions? Yep.
I never got farther in the hole.
I think Coach K is going to send out a video tutorial, but did you subtract the hole from the main body?
What do you mean?
Did you group them? You have to select both of them and then click on group.
That weird thing happened again.
So Grace, can you go back one step? I think you have something on the bottom, another square on the bottom that's not supposed to be there. So can you go to the bottom view?
Okay.
And then zoom in a little bit. You see that? Do you see that little square there? That's what's making it go all the way through. So click on it and then just delete it.
Okay.
Just that middle one.
Okay.
All right, there you go. And then now when you make the hole, it should just make it a pocket and not actually go all the way through.
Okay.
Oh, I have a question. Can you make Legos?
I think there's a separate tab for that, but yes.
Okay.
You can design a Lego if that's what you
yeah,
want.
that's what I meant.
Yeah, you can design a Lego.
Maybe the kids who have finished, you can go and share your screen. We'll see what you did.
Oh yeah, so did anyone finish?
I did.
Yeah, I finished.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen real quick, and then I want you guys to share your screen.
Okay.
Wow.
Ooh, that looks nice.
That's so good.
Good job.
What about mine?
Okay.
Wait, how do I stop sharing this?
This is
It's
hard.
at the top of your screen. So if you go to the top of your screen, there should,
Oh, all right. I see.
yeah.
Okay, next person.
All right, Dylan, I think you said you had one.
What about this?
Oh, nice. What is ABE? What does that stand for? Is that a name or is that something?
Abe, that's his name. Abe.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay. And anybody else want to share
Me?
your screen? Yeah, go ahead, Christopher.
Okay. Wait. Here. Wait.
Wow.
Nice. I like the black and the red.
Thank you.
That looks really cool.
That's nice.